Hey everyone, it's Michelle. Welcome to Michelle's Scrapbooking Thoughts. I have a cute project today that I thought we would make. Something alternative was besides like a scrapbooking album or a card. I'm going to a baby shower in a couple of weeks, and I thought I would give her something that she could put on the baby girl's wall, something that I made out of the paper. We all have that paper laying around, and we just always don't know what to do with it. So I thought I had these embroidery hoops, and I thought, well, let me do something with them. So we're going to be featuring today the Zany Zoo. It has dies and stamps along with it. Really cute. I love these little animals. We got the raccoon, the little cheetah. We've got the turtle. We've got the llama, and of course the alligator. He's the cutest one, I think. And then we have some dies that go along with it. And what's good about these dies is they will cut out the paper. The paper has the little animals on there, and you can just put the die right over the paper and it will cut itself out. So what I thought I would do with this, she could hang it on the wall. She could put like a nail or a tack in there, hang it on a wall. And then you can also put stuff in here. So I thought about putting like some little booty, something really small in here. I mean, this is just a 6-inch hoop. We're going to make a bigger one today, but it's going to be in a little boy version. Super simple. I added some cardboard on the back to give it some stability. Added a little bow up here. Just decorated it up. And like I said, you can add all kinds of things. Or you could take like I had one a few minutes ago, a mini clothespin. You could clip some pictures on it, just whatever. So I'm going to put like a little card inside, some booties, maybe something else that's really small that I can fit in there. Or I'm possibly going to make her later on a bigger one, and maybe she can do like a 3-part series, have 2 small ones and a big one. But I thought it was just really cute and a way to use up our paper and just other craft items that we have in our stash. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you the paper first. So cute. It's got like the little pig, we've got the lion, we've got the skunk. Really cute. I mean, this reminds me of a little boy. And then on the back, it has like little flowers in black and white. These are just some accent pieces. I already cut out one of the little curtains for today's project. But you can see where I used this piece to make the first one. I love the little hippo and her tutu. That is just so cute. And the little dancing reindeer ballerina. Sweet. And then on the back, we've got some like print. This one has the dancing frogs. We've got the little beaver. We've got the turtle and the bear. Really cute. But today, I think for the little boys, we're going to use this one. I like the little koala bear. I like the raccoon. And see, these dies will fit on the paper. Like, you could, hand cut it around, or you could put the die over it and run it through your die cutting machine, and it'll cut it right out there for you. So if you're in a hurry, you didn't have time to color or cut it out, you could use your dies, to cut it out. And this little alligator, is he just not the cutest little thing ever? Oh my goodness. Let's see. I've already seen that piece. Okay, so what do y'all think? The bear or this piece for the little boy? I'm thinking this one. I think I'm going to use this one. So what we're going to do first is we're going to move all this paper out of the way. Now, I don't have another 6-inch hoop, but I'm going to use the next size up. You can see it comes with the smaller one, and I believe this one was the 6, I believe. 6.5. This one is about 5 3/8 across. And then this one is about 8 1/8. So I'm going to use this one. Like I said, they come in different sizes. Oh, here's my little clip. I knew I had it. So if you had, a picture of the baby girl or whatever, you could add some pictures in there. You could, clip something else on there. Maybe if you didn't want to add anything to the front, you could, use some dies to put his or her name, and then add these on and put little photo clips of the baby. So I think these are really sweet. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. The first thing we're going to do is we want it to be a little bit sturdy. And I usually make sure this is tightened up pretty good. And I'm going to trace this around. Get a pen. I'm just going to just got home from work about 45 minutes ago, so I'm still in my scrubs. Y'all probably think every time you watch one of my videos, why is she in the same clothes every day? That's why. Okay, so I'm going to use my big scissors today, and I'm just going to cut this out. These are really easy to make. Around. I tried this at first just using the designer series paper, but it was a little flimsy, so I wanted to give it some stability, and by adding the cardboard. Okay. I didn't go out and buy any special cardboard. Usually there's cardboard that comes in your cardstock pack sometimes, and I just save them for projects. And I got the hoops off of Amazon. Like I said, they came in 1, 2, 3, 5 different sizes, and I think I paid like $4.99 for them, so very inexpensive. But see, that'll fit right there, and then we'll do the same thing, but with our designer paper. And here you just have to figure, I love this little dog. You just have to figure out what you want showing, I love the little bear. I think this gets them all pretty much. So, even though it's in the middle, actually, all right. So now we're just going to cut that out. Now in the dies, they give you curtain dies, and the one that I made for the little girl, I couldn't put them going vertically. I had to put them like the curtain was going up. So I put them like this instead of like this. But since this one is bigger, I'm going to do them the right way. See how that looks. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this onto the cardboard piece, best I can. You're going to have a little overhanging probably, but it's not going to show, and we can cut it off. So I'm going to just use some multi-purpose glue because it adheres really well to cardboard. I wouldn't recommend any type of score tape because if you got off line, it would be, it would rip your paper trying to fix it. So I would recommend a wet glue for sure. And that gives you just a little bit of wiggle room. And I'm just going to spread that glue out because I want to make sure that it adheres well. And don't worry that you can see any of the cardboard because that's going to be hidden just like that. And then we'll cut off any excess. But isn't that so cute already? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So that's going to adhere there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some multi-purpose glue all around the hoop. And I'm going to use a generous amount. I'm trying to get it in where the hoops are together because I don't want them to come apart. So I do want that to go down into the crevices. And I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to use a generous amount. Okay. Let's put that on there. And then I'm just going to use my bone folder and I'm just going to go around. And then we can go back and trim those edges. I'm just going to give it a little haircut, a little trim. And then that is on. Is that not the cutest little thing ever? Oh my goodness. So cute. Now, the next thing I did was I traced it again and I just used half of the circle instead of the full circle to create this little pocket here. So I'm going to take a coordinating piece and I think I'm going to use some Pool Party. And I'm going to trace it again, and then I'm going to fold it in half and only use half of it. Whoops. So let's cut this out again. I think this is really good too because I know when I was first starting out and I had my son, you can't always go out and buy everything at one time. And if I could make something, I would make it first for his nursery. All right. So I'm just going to fold this in half. And then I'm just going to cut this in half. And then this just sits out here and it becomes the pocket. Now you could, if you wanted more of the paper to show, you could cut it down and bring it further down if you wanted to, which I might do because I want it to see, you know, as many of the animals as possible. So I may just attach it on and then cut it down some, like that. So remember, you don't have to cut the whole thing, you just have to go around the edges. And don't put any at the top. I'm just going to use my fingers to rub that in good. And see, this one offers you a, oh, came off. I have to put some glue right here. But it allows you a bigger pocket, so you could probably put some bibs, some booties, you know, just a little gift inside the picture frame. Or I guess it's like a nursery wall decor piece. It's just sliding everywhere. We have to put something heavy on it for a few minutes till it adheres. Alright, so let's let that sit a few minutes. Meanwhile, we're going to decide you know what, that's crooked too. It's not lined up. I noticed my top piece was off. So this needs to be more circled around. That's one thing you got to watch, is to make sure that this is, you know, not crooked. But that paper is just not wanting to stick. Alright, so let's set this aside and let it dry for a few minutes. And then I do want to cut out some of these curtains, you know, to maybe make like a show. Or I don't know, I'm kind of liking it going across this way, like the curtains going up on them. And I had cut one out already. I can locate it. Well, I'm not seeing it, but you know what? We're going to cut it out some more. So, we're going to make a sandwich. We got our paper in. Now, what did I do with my die? Put this on. And then I'm gonna have to use my pokey tool. Take your pick tool and pop that out. So we can set that on there. Need a few more probably. What do you guys like to do with your scrapbooking paper besides, you know, make scrapbooking pages or maybe Let me know in the comments what you do mostly with your scrapbooking paper. think I'm going to need just one more. Okay. I like to do all kinds of things with paper. So we can put this on here, like the curtains going up. And I may overlap it just a little bit so it all fits. That piece, I think I should have cut it down. It's wanting to really sag there in the middle. So let me see if I can cut it down. Or you know, I might need some heavier cardstock. Let me do a piece of black. I'm thinking black will work better. It's a little bit thicker than that paper. Because I'm not really liking it. I'm going to use this pattern. I think it just needs something a little bit heavier. And 65-pound cardstock, I think is what it needs. And being too that the curtains are pool party, I need to have a contrasting color. What do you think? Thinking this is going to look a little bit better than the blue, but I'm still thinking it needs to come down a little bit. So we'll just give it a little trim. There, I think that's going to work out better. And it's already wanting to stick better. Let's see this over here, but I'll add something over there to cover that. So we can add our little curtains here. Going across the top. All right. So get a little glue. so we've got the curtain on. And then we can cut out any of these animals. I mean, we could use the same piece that is underneath, or we can cut out some different animals. So let's cut out some different ones. I was thinking of the little bear. I was thinking he could be over here on the side. And these are really simple to cut out. Now, there's not a die for the bear, so he does have to be fussy cut out. I don't mind fussy cutting as long as it's not quite so detailed. The ones that are detailed are a little bit harder. This one's pretty much straightforward. He's playing a, what do you call these, an accordion? So he can sit over here. And we could pop him up like I did the others on the little girl. I just popped him up so everything wasn't just flat. So he can sit off there to the side. And then who else could we put in? We could put the elephant on the other side. So we could have one big one on the right and one big one on the left. Sometimes when I'm in an album maker block, I usually try to do other things with paper. I think writers go through that. Probably anybody that does any type of writing or artwork, drawing, artist, they go through blocks sometimes. And that's where I am. It's like I've got an album in mind, but it's not fully come together yet. So this is what I do in between those times. All right, so that one can fit over here. And I'm just putting some pop-up dimensionals on the side. So with the part that's hanging off, you won't see them. Now I just have these. I'm just putting these. Actually, I need to put them on this side. One good thing about these is you can just barely put them on like I'm doing, and then when they're in the place that you want them to be, then you can press down on them and they'll be in place. But until they're in place, I don't want them smushed down all the way. So now I just go back and press over them, because if you need to move one, you can do it without it ripping your paper. All right, so we'll put this one over here. And then we can add let's add a colored one. The little koala bear is cute. Now he's rotating around cupcakes, but I don't think we need cupcakes on a baby one, so we don't have to cut those out. we can just cut around those. How is it in your area where you are? Is it super duper hot? It's been really hot here, except for this week. We've had rain every day this week, and it's not just rain, it's like thunderstorms. But it's been kind of nice because it's cooled things down because everything had been so dry. So we can put him here. And I'm liking this little let's do another colored one next to our little koala bear. So you could just make a whole little scene with the little animals, or you could stamp them and color them. But I figured with the video it might be easier if I just cut them out as opposed to coloring and then die cutting them out. And I like it because this little aardvark, I think is what he is, he's carrying a present. I think that's sweet. So, you know, he could go here, and then you could add some more if you wanted to. You could glue those on there. You know, then you could put your little card in. You could put, you know, some baby booties, maybe a bib, and then we could add some ribbon. I'm liking this green. This actually came with the suite. The Zany Zoo suite. You get a ribbon pack if you buy the bundle. So you could put a bow up here. And how I added the other one, I hot glued it on. You could hot glue that on. I used the pink for the little girl one. And then to make it stay temporarily, I'm just going to use a glue dot. And stick it on there. Give it a little trim. And then you've got a cute little baby gift. You could add some ribbon down here, or even like I did here, I didn't want it to be solid black, so I took my white gel pen and just went around it. So, you know, I didn't like that black showing, so I just kind of made some squiggly lines and then added a dot. You know, you could do certain lines like it was like a faux stitching, but I just wanted to brighten up, you know, the black so it wasn't just plain. You could add some more ribbon down here. You could sew some crepe paper together, you know, however you wanted to do it. Just, I always say, use what you have in your stash. I mean, so, you know, you can already see that makes a huge difference between just having black and having nothing. So, even around the curtains. So it's not so plain. But I just think that really just brightens up that black tremendously. And then what I did on the little girls one is I took my Wink of Stella and I sparkled them up so they're all sparkly. Because girls need some glitter. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but, and then, you know, you could take one of your other clips and you could also, you know, clip it here to something that you were using. But it's just an alternate way to use up some of your scrap pieces that you have. And, you know, if you have these embroidery hoops, like I said, you can get them really cheap anywhere at any craft store. You know, you can definitely. But I hope you enjoyed today's alternate project, and I'll see you back here next week. Thanks so much for joining.